Hey, we are back. How's it going, guys? what an what a day. Let's get back into um, doing some more modeling on this on level 3 here for the game that we're doing. The game sold 3,000. And yeah, let's see what's up. Let's without further ado, we don't have to wait for the countdown. All it's almost done. It's like 45, you know, 43, 40. Let's just jump right in and get this going. I just want to say thanks for all those who've been viewing us. You know, feel free to jump in, hit a question, or let's chat about something. You can get us on Steam, itch.io, and you could also watch us on YouTube and Twitch. Heavenlyform Games, Soul 3000. So let's jump right in there. Okay, here we are. Okay, so I was able to fit the asset right in here. I just took a little bit of massaging, with splines. When you're dealing with splines and things along paths, it tends to get a little tricky sometimes. Okay, so I think the other treatment for now, we could leave everything else for now. I think the treatment here would be getting this wall looking, pretty futuristic, like. So I'm just gonna, a good way of getting, doing like pretty quick modeling is to jump in and just start looking at, some inspirational photographs that you've either taken or drawings that you've done, sketches, concept art if you're a concept artist. I'm both the concept artist and the 3D artist, so so sometimes I do drawings and concept art, but this time I'm just looking at other inspirational art and just getting kind of like a vibe going. I don't copy exactly from other people's photos or other people's concept art, and I don't do that. Just look to get a more or less vibe, because not all of it clicks with me, but I might find a few where certain things click. And you could also get things from real life, right? Real life is like the best reference for doing 3D. Some of the best reference, not the only reference, because art and abstract things will also help too. So, but let's get into it, right? Okay, let's see if I can bring a couple panels in here and see if we could work with those in plastering this wall here. Okay, so I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna go jump into the varied model mode, and I'm just gonna see if I can bring in some panels from some previous things that we did in the other videos. You gotta use what you make, right? So let's jump in and try to see get some of those. So. Okay, I see panel structures right here. Let's jump right into that. Collection. Panel 1, panel 2. Hey! Let's jump right in and just grab those up. Okay, let's see what Blender did. Oh, here they are. They're pretty small. Let's see what we got. Let's look into the collections right here and see what they are. That's interesting. So what I may want to do, I may want to bake a simpler version and use that to plaster against the walls and stuff. Well, let's see what we have here once we turn on some of this. Oh, are these pure white? I don't think so. Well, here we go. We finally caught up. Okay, bake these down. I think I'm just gonna use these. I think this could be a floor, and this could be definitely like the walls and stuff. So let's jump in and let's just get that going. So I'm just gonna go to my top view and just gonna grab those, put those aside, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to get make like an optimized version of these. This one needs to be put together, but this is like this, and then that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab this and that and just merge that together, and it should be okay. Go to the topping again, grab. Okay, so call this the floor. So access points, we're just gonna plaster that, you know, regardless. You know, if we try to tile this, it'll probably look really bad. So, you know, that's fine. Okay, jumping right in here. All right, so let's make some tileable sheets on this. Before I even do that, I think I want to actually scale these up and just kind of look at them against everything else. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm gonna rotate this. Actually, in the previous, you know, we have it really nicely rendered in a previous file. So I'm gonna go in a previous file. I'm gonna bake them down, and we're gonna come in here and we're gonna use them. Okay, so let's just, so we saw what these are. So let's just get rid of these for now. Okay, and let's go into that file and let's get those all baked up so we can use them very lightly throughout here. So I'm not trying to make like epically dense mesh or really tricky type stuff. I'm just trying my best to get this looking very simple and light. Okay, so let's jump right in there and get those concepts going. So what's going on with you? I mean, how was your day? Okay, so those were panels, and let's take, you know, I want it in its own thing. Okay, panel structures, so we open those up, right? What do these look like? What do these look like when we render these? Okay, so it looks like this. Are we just gonna make a sheet over this and just use this as yeah, we're just gonna bake a sheet over it. Okay, so it's more or less a texture. Now, you could do it several ways. You could like have a texture and then, you know, or have like a simplified mesh kind of over it. Which way do I want to go? Simplified mesh way or the texture way? Let's take a look at that render again. Let's go top view. So this is how this would look rendered. Can I take these kind of circuit type things, grab these, kind of move them up a smidgen, and the sun size, just put 50 on that. So top view again. Yep. Okay, I think I'm gonna do simple geometry and then just bake pull this bake up. I'm not gonna like do a render like this and use it as a texture. I'm just gonna use simple geometry, and we're just gonna use simple geometry in the on the walls instead of just like a flat texture. I think it would add some niceness to it. So we could get a simple geometry by just extracting geometry from here, and then we could just make it back up. Okay, so let's get that done. So we're gonna select these two, and they're gonna be joined to this one. All right, and this is gonna be call this wall. Panel wall. I'm gonna call this panel floor. I think the floor might be a little more forgiving than the wall. Okie dokie. Let's get rid of these extra. We don't need that in here. Okay, so we got these here. Let's see what's the size of a. Let's leave it like this. Let's jump right in there. So I'm just gonna bring this together with this guy. Get rid of that. Okay, select these two. Delete these. Okay, these are some shapes that we have here. Okay, these are all the shapes that we're using. Let's just kind of neatly pile these somewhere else. One thing I learned is like sometimes it's good to like just kind of be a little tidy and just clean up things that you've used, because what happens sometimes is sometimes you run into rendering errors, and sometimes because you have like really messy stuff left all over the place. Oh, let's do that again. I believe these are together. Something like that. Yeah, so this is neatly kind of put to one side. Add Z and put them all kind of down on one, kind of more or less one plane. Okay. Save. All right, let's start to pull out. I'll call this high res. Okay, let's jump in here and let's start like just grabbing some parts we could use for the topology. Okay. Grabbing all the big shapes. You don't necessarily have to be like overly fussy. You know, like this could be like repeated, but it's fine. I'm just gonna grab these all real quick and use this as a basis for very fast topology. So see, let's go P. Okay, and what we want to do, we want to get rid of any materials off of this one. Okay, here we go. So that's what we got. You could go even further and do other things. You could like add a material on here. Let's go here. It's just like a transparent BRDF. I don't think that will work on here. Let's just come in here and just do the viewport display. Settings. Okay, let's go back to the principal. So I think it's because we're display settings. Okay, I'm just gonna go over here, check real quick. If we go into set the CPU, let's go into Eevee. Screen space reflections, not a big deal. Oh, Eevee looks kind of nice. Okay, do some of that, and what we're gonna do on the material, on this plain material, yeah, we want to change it to like alpha hashed or something, even better, like alpha blend. See, so we kind of get like a 50%, 50% like transparency on there. I think there may be another more utilitarian way to get the mesh to be slightly transparent on top of the other mesh, the retopology mesh. So let's just go with a retopology color, really gaudy. And what if I turn back to cycles? Yeah, it keeps the Eevee. Okay, so with that said, let's use this and let's retopologize this mesh. It's pretty simple. What we want to do is to not have any of this. Yep. Let's do something like that, and then like that. Yep. And we can always go back and clean up after. Let's just get this down real quick. It looks almost like a kind of plum color. Here. Okay. We just clean up these little holes right here, but we don't necessarily need these holes in the low poly mesh. Okay. Because it's not completely see-through, so let's do that. Okay, so you see how we have this like this here? So let's just start like retopologizing this now. So let's do that. Just making this back up. I think you're supposed to go anti-clockwise with when you're making faces. 1, 2, 3, 4. The order in which you select these vertices do matter. It allows you to know if you have faces that are flipped or faces that are not. Let's go like this. Okay, so that's actually there. I just want to make sure. Double checking. Another easy way is just to select the edge and click the two edges and press F. Alright. And what are we gonna do now? Select these. I'm just doing a test here, so let's zoom out a little. that's against here. Let's do another extrude. Okay, I think that's fine. F. What I want to do is to come over here. Yeah. Over here, do F. Okay, let's see. So that's the general shape of what it is we want. And technically we should be able to select this and this, bring this over, but I think these are spaced slightly different. So, but let's just continue. So I saw a trailer for that new Batman that's out, and I think Batman's cool, and I think, you know, as far as a superhero, you know, is concerned, I don't know. I mean, this Batman somehow, I mean, looks really like, extremely violent. I don't know if that's what people actually want, like extremely violent Batman like that. I mean, maybe that's what people want. But yeah, when does Batman stop feeling like a superhero? It feels like more villain. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? You know, but I mean, I guess if people pay for it, you know, that's what they want to see. But you know, I want a superhero to be a superhero. I don't want him to be a villain. You know, like these days people like think being a villain is like cooler than being a superhero. I don't know. You know, I think there's some, definitely there's some superheroes out there that people still want to see, like, you know, do pretty cool stuff, like Superman still, you know, that Zack Snyder movie got pretty close with how Superman is. It's extrude. Okay, I think I'm dropping it right there. Yeah, so when does a super, you know, actually start to behave like a villain? You know, killing people and I don't know what else. You know, I guess, you know, people say, oh, Batman, you know, like he deals with a lot of dangerous criminals, you know. I think that he kind of created himself actually, but you know, or inadvertently created them. But yeah, you know, I want my superhero to be a superhero. Yep. I don't necessarily want Batman to be, you know, like a raving lunatic, although he might, he probably is because he wears a bat suit. But you know, I had like a concept like that one time, but You know, at what point, you know, is he still a hero or not just another villain? You know, that can make for like a good, good movie, I guess. Okay, so I could duplicate these two things over here, which is what I'm gonna do. Select this, like so. Select this, like so. And just duplicate that, grab along the x-axis over here. Grab X. I'll lock that in place there a little bit. Everything is cool up until this point up here. Oh, did I not grab that? Let's see. Maybe I did not grab it. What was that looking like? Oh, okay, it kind of ended. Okay, I see. There wasn't a piece up here. Piece probably came from here. Okay, I think we solved it. You know, the only kind of bad negative thing about Batman though is like, you know, if you put a message out there like, you know, and a lot of people try it, you know, right? You know, if you're rich enough, you could be kind of above the law and just taking matters into your own hands, and you know, it's not necessarily good, you know, but again, you know. These are like comic book store debates. You know, that, you know, people would have, and like, when does Batman become, you know, like, is he more like a villain now, or you know, people will debate, well, you know, no, you know, you gotta take extreme measures for crime and yeah. So with that said, you know, I don't think I'm gonna see that. You know, it's too violent. It's the last thing this world needs with everything else going on. These good vibes. That's why, like, some war movies or war games, to some of them, especially the early ones, like the first set of Call of Duties, you know, World War I and all that, talk about World War II, you know, it shows the realities of war to a degree, you know, and, you know, some movies like Saving Private Ryan, Hacksaw Ridge, you know, the list goes on and on, and it kind of shows the reality of like, for war, you know, just war is not a good, you know, and it seems to be the only people who like really push for war is people in charge who sit, you know, who just sit behind them, you know. But in the old days, right, if somebody who's in charge of a country wages war on somebody else. They are expected to go out there and battle with the knights, you know, like the king would be in the front lines or in the middle or something like that. You know, well, these days it's kind of like a political thing, and the political people who are doing it, they don't go out and fight. You know, I think if like if you're in a political thing and you're like, you know what, let's go out and make war with these people or whatever it is, you should be wearing a helmet and out there with the soldiers, you know, risking your life too, you know. I mean, like, if you make that decision, you know, I think if it was that way, you see a lot of like diplomacy, and people really think twice about what's important and stuff like that, you know. So anyways, with that said, you know, you're doing the retopologizing. Just grabbing up some of these little stragglers. So, and what we could do, we could use a like a weld with like a distance threshold on there, and just kind of weld up all these points. Okay, I think I got it. So let's take a look. Yeah, that's a low res version of that. Okay, so I'm gonna select it all, and then I'll go Control M by distance. Oh, that's a little bit much. So what we actually want here is something like, let's say 3 for now. Yep, it definitely merged some stuff here. I think this is fine. Okay. Without the extra cuts, you know, we got some stuff happening in here. And any kind of supporting edge it wants to do is fine. I mean, technically we should go in and like try to like do some of those supporting edges. You see, look, I have some vertices here that are not like snapped on. Let's try that again. Let's try the moves by distance and raise that distance up like twice times. Let's go 6. Does that help? Let's go up one digit here because it's pretty. What if I hold shift? I think that did something. I think that fixed it. And little stragglers is all welded up. Okay. So this is all low poly. Oh, no, we didn't do this little piece right here, which is very important. Extrude Z. I'm going to extrude along the X. I think this wants to go up just a smidgen. Right. Edge. Grab Z. Okay. And on this edge here, this edge is to F. Yep. And we got that piece happening there. So let's inspect it a little bit more. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna actually this is on different levels. So this kind of goes down, goes up. Okay, so this is definitely like a low res. Do I want to do this for this? No. I think this is just going to be flat because it's more floor texture. Hold on. Yeah, I think that'll work. The easiest thing to do. You could just grab these 4 points on the outer edge. Why isn't this like this? See, I'm seeing some little artifacts right here I could fix. Center. Okay. Top view. Grab X. Okay. Grab Y. Okay. Yeah, no, that's perfect corner. Let's select these corners again. I'm just going to duplicate those. Grab Z, let's move them up just a smidgen. Alright, and then I'm gonna put them into their own object. I'm just gonna make a face out of these 4 points. There you go. Let's just make sure everything is all level. Actually, does it want to be level? I think so. Now we could choose to like make these bump outs, but because it's a floor, I think it might obstruct the character. So let's see what we could do. I think this might be fine. And I am gonna subdivide it a little bit. Like so, make the subdivisions almost square. Let's try like so. What if I select all the vertices, scale them in the z-axis? Oh, that's perfectly flat now. That's even better, so just grab Z, scale it up a little bit like that, and then we could just like, do a nice project on that. Okay, and this the same way too. So normally I would do like little cuts in those and that kind of thing, but I think for the floor this should be okay. It's more of a texture, I'm guessing, you know. If this look in the end will be more texture like. Let me really think about this. Yeah, I think that'll work. Unless we use it as is, we bake it as is, and then we put like a sheet of glass over it, which could be kind of nifty. Sheet of glass over it, over the baked. No, I'm just gonna bake it like this. It's all good. It's all good, guys. Okay, so we got our bakery meshes. Our meshes ready for baking. Go slow. Okie dokie. Alright, so let's do one at a time. Let's go with this one, baking this one, and then we'll bake the other one, because this one is much more exciting. So I selected that. I'm going to go into some UV editing. Oop. Select the OS one, UV editing. Select everything. Let's go U, Smart Project. Let's go like so. And let's pack this. Oh. Gotta fix this part right here. Oh. Okay, here we go. I think we just packed that. Is this the best utilization of this? I don't think so. I think you could pack a little bit nicer. So let's go to islands and actually faces. Let's make sure the faces are separate. Let's just break this up like so. And you could also like select the widest areas that is mostly going to be seen, and then everything else could be secondary. So let's do something like that. So let's come here, select these, the widest areas. That's yeah. Okay, so that's all the widest areas. Just grab these guys, put them over here. Let's just inspect it a little bit, inspect the UVs a little bit. You know, see if there's any long strips we can get rid of. Okay, this seems fine. Let's select everybody else. Okay, so these are secondary. Grab them over here. Let's pack this guy. Packed pretty quickly. Let's use this thing here to find the optimal packing situation. Okay. Okay, so as far as it's concerned, this is the optimal packing situation. Let's actually raise up the border. Let's try that again. Let's raise up this border a little bit more. The margin. All the way like that. Pack. Yeah, it's a little bit nicer. You want to leave enough space so when you do the transfer and it bleeds out, it doesn't like run into each other. Okay, and what I want for selection, I want this to be vertex, and I want this to scale to the 2D cursor, or this 2D cursor to be the center, and I'm just going to apply the 2D cursor right here. Right, so I'm just going to scale this down a little bit. Alright, and what this is going to be here, you're going to set up this part here to be to only pack in a certain area. So let's go into the packing box, enable packing box, draw packing box, and I'm gonna just draw the packing box like to be this right here. Oop, I think I have to redraw that. Go all the way up to the edge here. So this here is a plugin I'm using that you could buy for Blender. It's called UV Pack Master 2. You could get it in Blender Market. And it's really very useful, as you can see. Let's draw that packing box again. You know what? I think this is fine for the packing box. I'm gonna select these guys and just pack them again. Yep, that's what I thought. And I'm gonna draw the packing box yet again and pack the other guys in there. Oh, draw the packing box again. So stopped a little short. Try to get it in perfect. All right, still has a little thing there on top, but let's pack it. Okay, so in order priority, one of the biggest things you can see to the smallest things, and let's go here and let's hide this menu from us. So let's hide the packing box. Let's disable the packing box. All right, so we can see the UVs clearly. And let's just bring up the shading panel, the shading node tree real quick. The shader editor. All right, the nodes and everything. All right, and this material, I did put the base color as that, but we're gonna fix this. We're gonna put the base color back at white. and I'm gonna put the alpha back up and turn all these extra shading effects down. And we're gonna add a new image on here. Let's go. So this is the side of the wall, right? So I want this 148. I'm keeping the textures relatively kind of low for now. You know, because uprism later. We just need to get these things locked in, and we need the entire level laid out as efficiently as possible. So we call this panel underscore wall low diff. Copy that. Alright, so let's see. So that apply that. There you go. And what you want to do over here is to actually bring that image that we just created in, image texture right here, and let's look for a panel wall right here. And you don't want to hook it up as yet, you just want to keep it like right here. Oh, I see some of the new stuff here for Blender. See that little plus right there? That's pretty cool. And if you do a backward, oh yeah, you get like this thing and you could search. I love that. That's great. That'll save a lot of time. Okay, so we're gonna do this transferring of coolness over to here. So let's just come over here and save. Let's for now hide the low res one. What I normally like to do is to duplicate this in several ways. So let's hide the floor for now, and let's select the panel wall. And let's add an array. Array that side. The one on that side. Let's not do that. Let's do that. X. Okay, got that there. Let's add another array modifier on here. Zero here. One there. Okay. It's more like it. Select these two, grab, and Y, bring them down. So we just form like a nice little floor thing out of it. Okay, let's take a look. So if we go here into shaded, this is what it looks like, and our grabbers right here. Let's hide these shapes. You don't need to necessarily see them right off. Okay, so this is what we got right here. We're gonna bake this stuff onto here. So select that. From here, here, to baking from here to here. Okay, everything looks fine. So let's just go right ahead and bake this and see what happens. So it's cycles. We want the GPU, because GPU is a lot quicker. Okay, let's see. So the viewport, the noiser and all that. Don't need that. This rendering is where it's at. So let's see the rendering at that. It says noise threshold. Let's tune that off for now, and let's denoise at that. And let's check the baking now. So the baking, we're going to bake from Select it to active. We want to, yeah, we definitely want some extrusion, so let's go with 6. And the margin, we always leave it at some crazy 16. I'm not sure why they leave it so crazy, but let's just leave it there for now. And then let's go right ahead and hit bake and see what we get. Just gonna bake into this texture right here. Leave that up so, and then we can hook it up and take a look. Yeah, okay, so it's baking. Okay, so here you go. So we baked it and it did its thing. I think it's looking like it's working. So one way to find out, so when we find that out, let's select this guy, this, wrong guy, and select the low res. Let's just plug it in and see what we get. Plug in the texture. Okay, yeah, that's looking pretty good. We do get a little something right here. You know, actually some of this look flipped. Let's take a look and see. Let's go backface culling. Okay, so that's not flip. I wonder if the flipping is coming from the wall, the high res wall. So yeah, I think we've seen the flipping in the texture from the high res wall. Actually, let's turn, you know, we in cycles in Eevee we actually turned on, let's see, we turned the shader transparency, alpha transparency off, so let's turn that back to opaque. Yeah, I think that fixed the shading error. Yeah, so it was a user error. Back this color over there. Yeah, so okay, so we can see clearly. So we just have to like go back again. I like the way this looks. It's looking nice. So let's go back again and let's do another pass at this. Let's do some tweaking. So I'm gonna let's go back. Let's hide the low res. Let's do some more tweaking. Okay, so let's go into some shading right here. So see how those lights are lighting really up, really bright like that? Let's go into that. Let's see what bright that is. We turn that down to 1. What happens? It's not too bad. I think I'd rather it like that for now. Okay, so we definitely have to go back into cycles. Damn. Okay, here it goes better. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. Let's go back into the UV editing. Taking a cool look at this. Yeah, that's not bad. So let's go back and bring that back. Let's take it down a notch. Okay, so definitely selecting from this guy and we're going to this guy. Let's try it again. Try to bake again. And in the bake last time, let's switch some settings up. Let's go 3 instead. 0.03. 0.06. I think they may have had too much overlap there. Okay. Let's try 6 with the pixel size. Okay, let's go. So it's baking again, guys. You can tell the percentage down here in the bottom in Blender. It says baking texture is like 43, 54 right here in the bottom of my screen. 90. It's baking towards the texture. Yeah, I think that may have cleaned up some of the artifacts. It looked like it did. So let's go back, select that guy right there, isolate him, plug that texture in. Oh yeah, a much better job. The reason why we're getting like something like this right here is because it's actually a reflective panel, which we could fix. I think this might be fine for now, guys. Okay, so this is one panel down. Let's save this guy. Those textures. Save this as a JPEG. Normally I save as PNGs, but JPEG should be fine for now. Okay, so this is done. Let's get rid of these extra walls right here. Actually, let's unhide it. Get rid of these extra walls. We could get rid of that array. Okay, so there we go. So if we hide this guy, and we could give this the old one to the high res thing on the end of it. Yep, so this is the low res. This is just basic. I mean, you could even go in further and probably try to remove some of these extra lines here. But I'll leave it for now. But it actually add to like the most kind of solidifying look of it. Okay, so here's another victim right here. Let's go UV. So unwrap this UVs. And this is just like a straight, unwrap kind of thing. I'm just gonna grab these guys out. I'm gonna probably try to arrange it in whatever kind of squarish way. Square. And let's go back. Alright, so I think this is fine, guys. It's not gonna get any better than this guy. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new image for this guy. New. Alright, and instead of wall, it's floor. Oops, excuse me. Yep, and there you go. And this still has some of those kind of funky materials in it, so we're gonna take care of that. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna make a new material. Wood panel, floor, mat. Material. And I'm just gonna go back here to this low res wall right here. Give it the same thing, low res wall, mat. It's there. And let's hide this puppy. This guy got it. Got his own material. Nice. Let's turn all these extra doodad down. It's got that. And let's bring that texture in here. Floor. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, baking is it's a little boring. You know, it could be annoying for some people. But for us, we're gonna make this kick butt, right? So select that, just make sure all that's fine. Let's see, I think there's another light in here. We wanted that strong, let's turn that down to 1. Materials. Okay, so let's do the same thing we did for the other one. Let's go into here and let's create an array. Now the thing about this one is that the things wouldn't like actually match up because this was meant to. I didn't make this with the mindset to tile, so we just kind of faking the funk here with the tiling. So let's go to the tippy top view. Let's go into wireframe. I'm just gonna make some duplicates. And the reason why I'm doing this is that, you know, if the edge of the low res catch any of these colors, it's the same kind of structure anyway. And in the 3D program, I'll probably like tile it like this. Just very loose. It doesn't have to be crazy right now, right? Maybe hindsight or sort of like, you know, like the other one I did it with tiling in mind. But, you know, sometimes you just need to just get things done. And you can get it done the right way too. But, you know, the more we get into it, the more correct we get things. So that's how it works. Okay, so I got like a little tile action going on there. On my low res floor, it's in the midst of stuff. So we're going from this here to that to that, like so. Got this set up. Let's jump into the baking. So far this should be fine. Let's just bake it and see what we get. I'm thinking I might have to go a little bit higher on the extrusion, but let's take a look of what this produces right now. So I'm hitting bake. Let's see what we get. Okay, wow, this is this is actually pretty interesting. Look at this. Wow, that turned out better than I thought it would have. Not bad. I think this might work as is. Okay, let's check it out, and you could probably use this for other things and just kind of vary it up. Okay, I'm getting excited. Let's just get in here and check this out. So, yeah, so I have this selected. I'm just going to isolate it and just plug that right in there. Yeah, that works. Looks as a flat texture and pretty cool talent map. Okay, so let's just save this. I'm gonna go on JPEG, of course, all up. Okay, this is called right. Global res, save. Okay, so we got our two. I mean, basically this is a texture, right? You know, could have been a flat texture, but hey, it is what it is. I like it. You know, it's gonna stay like that. It's flat. You know, with some stuff, whatever. You can always work on that later, and you can use normal map. You can get a normal map and kind of put it on there, and there's other things you can do like things to do with displacements and different other kinds of maps. That's even more advanced than a normal map to get a feeling of depth. But this is fine for what we're doing. Alright, so we got our two low-res bad guys here. Okay, so I'm just gonna come out of the isolation mode here. I think this is fine. This works. Although, maybe this could have been a little more... Nope, actually that's fine. It could have been a little more, less kind of shiny, a little deeper. But that's fine, you know. I mean, we could always edit this in like something like the GIMP, right? So let's try that. Let's see, edit externally. Let's see if the GIMP will launch. Let's try to richen this up, just, you know, with 2D operations. So when GIMP has like a saturation thing, you could just kind of hype up the saturation a little bit. So it's saturating up the orange. Kind of don't want that, so let's go into a hue and saturation deal. Right, and we want to affect the blues, and let's go high up in the saturation. Right, you want a little bit of overlap with the blues. It's so crazy we could get. Okay, now it's time to break. Back. Let's go up to the point where it breaks a little bit. Let's drop the... I'm trying to balance it back out. Little tone. A little bit overlap. Oops. Okay. Let's look at it before and after. Base image, that's what it came in. Just leaving like that. Yeah, it's a little more fruity. Let's go with some levels. Yeah, a little bit like that. Let's take a look. Before, after, I think that works. And let's save it back out as that JPEG. Place, yep. Sport. Oh yeah, this got changes there. Okay, so we reloaded the image. Yeah, and that's a little bit closer to what we have in things. It's a little bit richer, a little bit deeper. I like the lightness of it, but you know, that's fine. I think that could work. And we could have easily get like a spec map and all that from there and make it really fancy, but for now I think this is what we need. So I'm just gonna get rid of all these other like extra floors, gonna get rid of that array. Alright, and yep, something like that. Yeah, because it's taking the light into account, guys. So this is viewport, this is rendered. Yeah, the rendered version is fine. So let's hide the, let's call this high res. Okay, let's just undo all these right here. Like so, we're gonna take the low res and put them in their own collection. Okay, there we are. So these are what we're going to use. So technically a wall wants to stand, right? So I know for a fact this is the bottom here. So I'm going to actually select part here to be where the origin goes. And the floor, you know, it could be anything, right? So let's just select one of these points here again. And yeah, the origin goes there. I'm actually gonna rotate this guy. Rotate 90, so that's a wall. Let's grab. Let's put him like right over here. Grab this. Okay, yeah, a little bit of this blue is kind of spilling into this. Interesting look. Okay. Yeah, I think that works, right? Especially if you give it a slight bit of specularity. Tiny bit, a little bit of roughness. Woo! Okay, that's fine. We can always deal with it later in engine. This is a cool ground for now. You could do so many cool things to it, but I think this is just good just as a, you know, just slapping things down. Okay, so here we go. So that's fine. Let's grab this guy. Okay, so that's done for this. Let's see how it works out in our level. Entry 2. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do the middle part of this wall here, just like I did this ground here, this part here, and then the ground will be a whole nother different wheels. I'm just looking at to see what we got here. Some walls. Let's put those back in for now. Okay. So this edge. Okay. Even better, let's just separate that. Like so. Let's go. P separate selection. Let's bring our wall and our flooring. Oh. Try it again. Oh. My brother's calling me. Hey Peter, you're on
Hey.
you actually call me in the middle of streaming here, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
well,
everybody
I'll
can
call
hear
you
your
after that.
voice.
Cool. Yeah, well, I'll give you a ring back. Sweet stuff.
Okay, I'll see you
Yeah,
then.
talk to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll call you back in a few minutes. I can end the stream
Cool. Yep.
in a few minutes. Okay. Yeah, so that's my brother who's the coder. He actually codes the game, and he's trying to put it in a newer version of the Blender game engine, the BGE engine, and yeah, so that's what we got. So okay, so let's see here. So to wrap this up, so we're about to bring in the walls and everything that we did. Okay, so let's do that. So that was, let's go date modified, panel structure, collection, and there's a low res, append. Right, we got them in here. Let's just scale these guys up. No, the box. Alright, so we scale them up to somewhat of a size. I'm going to select this guy. I'm going to select the inner walls. I'm going to isolate those two, and let's really look at what I got here. Just going to grab this. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to come here, grab this, vertex, selection, and put the origin to a point where I want the wall to start. Join those two together. Okay, I want the wall to roughly be the size of this, so I'm just going to scale it like so. Let's move the wall right into that point right there. Selection of the cursor. Okay, now let's really judge. Yep. So yeah, it's somewhat there. Scroll up. A little bit of overlap. If you really want to get this spot on, you can go to orthographic view. Okay, so I'm going to extract an edge and make that into a spline. Okay, and what we're going to do here, convert that spline into a curve. This, I keep saying a spline, convert that edge into a spline. You could just do that on the fly here in Blender. Let's do it with the other side also, so we just deal with all just only edges and convert them into curves. So let's duplicate that, separate that. Then I'm going to select it, and let's go convert to curve. Okay, so we got curves here and curves there. Okay, so these are two curves. Let's see. Let's go new, set me a new. Pull that guide wall. I'm just gonna put them out here. And then we're just gonna unparent it. What I'm gonna do is just come out of here, select this, and the guide curves, and just isolate those. You get a general size of what this is, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply scale, rotation, apply scale, rotation, this. I'm going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to convert this to Bezier. Convert that to Bezier. Alright, let's see what we got. So if I just come over here, I'm gonna come here and I hit curve on deformer, select that object, see it deforms that way. So that's the, let's try for the Y. Ooh. Try for the Z. So we're getting some wacky results, and that happens. Actually, that happened to us the last time. trying this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come over in edit mode, select an edge, a vertex on the edge here. It's gonna shift the pivot point over here to A, rotate, grab that. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Select this. Okay. Technically, I want this like this. Okay, so that could definitely be like that. So what's on the edge is that brown part, so I'm gonna top view. Oop. And let's go into wireframe. Let's rotate it. So it's actually on the line like that. Let's see what the local looks like. So it's going on the X locally. Let's do scale for now. Let's try that again. Let's actually get wall 01. Let's try that. Yeah, see, that's odd, so we can't do that. Okay, so we left off here where we left the last time, and I had to like sit down and kind of troubleshoot this going along the axis here. It's just a matter of like cleaning things up, you know, cleaning the spline up a bit. Let's see. I reverse direction. Yep. Yeah, this was part of me fixing it up. So moon radius 111. So far it looks fine. I should be able technically to rotate this. And I have what we want here. Let's take a look at the textures. Okay, let's go into wireframe. Okay, so wireframe. All right. So I think we're there, guys. So if I go back and let's apply an array. Go -1, and let's see where the array. This is minus. If I can remember, it's like 9 minus 0.9966. Yeah, that seems to work. Probably has a little bit of overlap, so let's check that out. Ooh, a lot of overlap. Ooh. Okay, there we go. We can get the merge. We can merge it by 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, seems like I'm missing a little polygon right there. Yep. It's not a problem. We could just make one real quick. Right here. The E, just like so. Yep, we fixed that. Okay, let's just go ahead and duplicate this along the edge. Seems to be working, guys. And of course, you know, there's better ways to do this stuff, but this is what we're gonna work with for now. Let's scale. Let's go like around the Z and bring this in. Okay, and one of the better ways is like to get these things all on the edges squared away. You could subdivide it. Just drop some cuts in it, and it would work. Let's go top. Who's wrap them again. Good tab. Oh, let's go front, not top. Okay. And let's lay just some cuts down. I don't necessarily like to do this, but I think we may have to. You know what? We could just merge. So let's go solid. Like I say, this guy here, you go right down to this guy here. That guy there. Like so. And just have it slice itself like that. Not pretty, but it should work for what we were trying to do. Slice that, slice. If we want, we could always like straighten all these up, you know, and what would that look like? Let's see. Thinking I might create a mess, especially with the texturing, but that's one way to find out. Just go here and here. And we scale and we can average the scale. Yeah, see that's. Oh, are we in wireframe? Let's go to wireframe. Yeah, this is better. See what we got. It's a little stretch, but it's not bad. Let's do that with the other ones. Yeah, we're trying to straighten these. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it changes up the shape a bit, but hey, it's gonna look pretty. Okay. Let's go, material period. Yeah, that's pretty straight. I think that could work. Let's see if it helped. It helped a little. So I'm gonna scale on the X. Let's see if we can get it like right on the edge right there. Okay, so yeah, we could deal with this in many different ways. We could like add, we could just make like straight linear pieces, sections, and just weld them together. But either way, let's see what it looks like all together. Once we kind of hide that, and have one little strip right here. Let's just hide that guy and see. But I dare say I think it's coming together. I think that'll work. Yeah, I actually think that'll work. Hope we have another missing piece right there. We could fix that too. See if that fixed it. Oh, I only met it halfway, that's why. Has to go a little bit more. Something like that. Yep. Okay, I think that works for now, guys. You know, we could always come back and finesse this and make this a lot better. But it's shaping up. You know, at least the ideas are being laid down. And we're gonna just continue laying on the ideas. Okay, we're getting there. So it's been a process, but we're getting there. Alright guys, so if there's anything, I'll see you guys later. Oh yeah, Peter. Yeah, Peter, thanks, yeah. Peter, thanks, man. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna jump right in, and that's my brother. He hit me up on the video here, and I'm gonna sign off and go talk to him. You guys have a great night, and you know, remember to watch the rest of the other videos before if you want to kind of catch up. And you know, on YouTube, you know, subscribe so you could see when we pop up to do more videos. And on Twitch, you could subscribe and hit up some comments, and it would also notify you when we're coming on. And you could get Soul 3000 as a free demo on Steam and on itch.io. Have a good night, guys. Keep gaming.